Alright, Shalom.
Shalom.
All praises, honor, and glory belong to
Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash.
Double honors unto the elders and to the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to the awful elect. Alright, the men that are pushing this truth out in the four corners and the highways and byways to wake up our people who are the so-called blacks, Latinos, and natives. Alright, who are the true descendants of Israel. Alright, who are the people on this side. Alright, you know, just the lesson today basically going in on how these different nations, alright, all the other 17 nations had Israel in captivity. Alright, and what is written in the scriptures that we, at the end of it all, can have them as our slaves. Alright, and after that 1,000 years is fulfilled, they're gonna still be paying us tributes. Alright, because that's how the Most High initially set it up. So it's gonna return back to how it was. You see? Yes, start with Psalms 82.
Psalms 83 and verse 1. Keep not thou silent, O Yahawah, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power. Verse 2. For lo,
that's now we waking up in this truth in these last days. That's exactly what we're doing. We're crying out to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai to no longer keep silent. Alright? To now pluck out his right hand and judge these nations according to his righteous judgment. You know, to recompense them according to their works. You see? Go ahead.
Verse 2 of Psalms 83. For lo, thine enemies make a turmoil, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head.
Yeah, God, all right, and all these nations have a resounding hatred towards the nation of Israel. You see, the hatred goes as far as being perpetual, meaning what? Forever. All right, every single thing that these nations do is in the best interest to oppress the so-called blacks, Latinos, and natives. You see, now everybody talking about repatriation and this and that, they want money, but hey, they ain't never gonna give you that reward. Alright? The only way you're gonna get true repatriation is through Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai.
That's right.
Alright? You know, that second Exodus is coming.
Yeah.
You see? Go ahead.
Verse 3 of Psalms 83. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy Edom ones.
Yeah, can, all right, and that's what they're doing. They hide out in the secret places, all right, and they take the crafty counsels. Hey, just look around, all right. Before a Edomite, a so-called white man, employ a so-called black man, hey, you're gonna prefer to employ an East Indian. Why? Because they have that confederacy. All right, because they in that one accord, and hey, it's just their vibration. You know, it's just something that that's born within them. You see?
Because one of the things they see how great we are, right? And they wouldn't want to employ us, because many times I see it on jobs. You know, East Elam, they employ you, but then they get to find out that the boss over there get to find out that you better than them. You understand? So now you become a threat to them.
Yeah.
So they prefer to take an East Indian who's lower under them. They'd always be low under them, and who is a dog. You understand? They like to suck up under you. They don't want to elevate. You understand? Hey, it is what it is. You understand? We better than these nations, bro.
Yeah.
Right? That's why the Most High choose us. Go ahead
So, Zechariah 11 and verse 5 says, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them say, blessed be Yahweh, for I am rich.
Yeah, cut. All right, and that's what we saw Edom doing to this day. All right, even all these Elamites, all right, Moabites, all of them doing the same thing. They're being our oppressor. You know, they slay us, and what they say, they hold themselves not guilty. All right, if you tell a so-called white man, hey, your foreparents did this, oh, it wasn't me. All right, but you are your forbearance and you reaping up the benefits. All right, what you saying is not you. Yeah, you want to make a point?
Yeah, because that's why you wouldn't give any repatriation or reparation, you know, because they literally think of us as less. So, you know, the law was that, you know, in so-called Negroes and Latino was 2/3 of a human being, basically a livestock, you know. So if you slay, select it, right? The law was that if you slay a so-called Negro or Latino, it's like slaying an animal. There's no guilt in it. See?
Yeah. This is Isaiah chapter 40 and 21. It says, prepare slaughter for the children, for the iniquities of their fathers. Right? Because technically, these same Edomites we would ask today, and this Elam, hey, you all know you all had to be in captivity. They said, no, it's their father, but you are your father. Right? Like for instance, we here today, we're going through this punishment because the scriptures say what? We have sinned against the Most High. Our father. They tell you in the book of Lamentation that if we repent of our sin, when did we sin against the Most High? When we was back in the regeneration. We come Silaki, when we were back in the past life in Egypt, you know, when we renounced our power. You understand? So we's the one who know because most scripture you'll find the scripture saying that hey, if they repent of the sin, you understand, that their father sinned against me, the wilderness, we are those men. Right? And today we're standing in our lap. Right? In the scripture telling in Lamentation chapter 4, rejoice, O Edom, right? Knowing that the cup wouldn't pass you. Why? Because you was the one who put us in slavery. So you had to drink of it. Right? It said, prepare slaughter for the children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land. And they do possess the land today. The inheritance be passing down and down all the time to what? It's the children. And if you study regeneration, the word re represent back, right? Generation means you're coming back in your reincarnation, the genealogy. You understand? So you keep coming back. It's a cycle. It's like a generator. You keep bringing back current. You understand? The same thing happens. You study this thing. That's why they always say that, hey, listen, there's no regeneration. There's no, but only you fucking what so-called scholars. You understand? Y'all is denouncing, but y'all know the truth, bro. Y'all know the truth. Y'all know who y'all are. Y'all are the wicked, bro. Right?
There's just a part here. Like going back to the regeneration, when they say as reincarnate, right? They incarnate means the flesh. So again in flesh.
Again in the flesh, right?
Again in flesh. So these things are going on. Some people have these spiritual spirits of energy and stuff like that. These things are happening again, and we are, and you know, like the scripture says, the last word. The scripture says, for the spirits, they are created for vengeance. So some of these spirits, they are created for certain things, including the nation. So they're just again in flesh to keep the doing what they do to Israel.
Yeah.
You understand? And they basically, if Israel do not consider the ways, they can still continue the ways.
We finish this. Say, prepare slaughter for the children, for the iniquity of their father, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with city. Right? And you look back and see who's the one who did it. So in other words, the Most High will stop yourself. Right? You are your father. You the children are coming back. Right? Isaiah chapter I think it's kind of funny that the God of the Most High in the nation is the Assyrian, which is his nation. And the Most High been using all these people from ancient days to chastise us because of our sin. You understand? Go ahead. Okay.
Yeah, good. This Jeremiah chapter 2, reading for verse 12. It says, be astonished, O ye heaven, at this, and be horribly afraid. Be ye very desolate, said Yahweh. For my people have committed too evil.
Yep.
They have forsaken me the fountain of the living water and hewed them out cisterns, broken cisterns that can that can hold no water. It says Israel is a servant. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? So basically, I tell you why Israel is spoiled, because Israel in the beginning, they forsaken. I think the verse before it says, 11. It says, "Hath a nation changed their gods, which are yet no gods? But my people have changed their glory for that which doth not profit." So I was mentioning before about the nations. They're having the benefits of the ancestor, and we basically reaping the benefits of the ignorance of our ancestors. You understand? Because what the oppressors basically taught our forebears was lies and favors, deceit. And our people been living in such things these days and calling it their heritage, their custom, and they believe in these things wholeheartedly. Right? Likewise, the other nations, they've been with the benefit of the stolen stuff, the stolen lands, the oppression they had put upon our people. We are the people who were set so much back while they were, excelled so forward. And even unto this day, they will use proverbs and bywords saying, hey, the average Negro is no good, the average Spanish is no good, the average native is no good. You understand? These are the people they go for nothing, they always at one standard. But what? The people are basically product of their environment. You understand? And how they became product of their environment, because they took up what? The custom of the heathen. Alright, they became wild people.
This is Micah chapter 2 and verse 1. So you see early in Psalms 83 said they have taken crafty counsel, right? It says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand." And this is what a lot of these elite of the Edomites do. They call these world summits, and they get these other nations, and they secretly plot against Jacob. You see? The whole point about it too also is that these elites, they do a diligent search. They do a lot of digging up. They know they are the Edomites. Right? They know they are the Edomites. They know that we are the children of Israel. But they all got one consent, is what, to destroy Israel.
Back to what I'm saying, so that they know that they're the Edomites, right? This is Revelation chapter 12 and 9, right? Straight to the point. It says, "And the great dragon was cut out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world." So when you look at it, right, it said the old serpent. Where to go straight back to? Straight back to Cain. Right? Talking about the serpent in the garden. That's why it's called the old serpent. So if you don't want to believe, the scripture says, what if some did not believe? Does it make the Most High word without effect? All these people from back in the ancient days, from Genesis, keep coming back all the time. So, you understand? There's nothing new under the sun. Read Ecclesiastes 4:16. What it tells you. You understand? There's nothing new under the sun. Well, like I'm getting into is that these 17 nations rule over us.
That's right.
For all these time from since Genesis coming. But now our time is coming. Our time is near. You understand? Hey. Anyway, I know you're going to get into it, but go ahead now. It's been a beautiful time, man.
This is Psalms 83 and verse 3.
Yeah.
"They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance."
Because they say cut us off from being a nation. From knowing who you are, gonna lead you back to your power.
That's right.
That's why one of the reasons we ask people the question, hey, do you know your nationality? Because if you know yourself, you're gonna know your roots.
That's right.
And knowing your roots is important. Right? A wise man once said, hey, a tree cannot stand without the root. If you know your roots, right? Your culture, your history, your connection, you're going to get straight back to who you are. You're going to understand the power that you have. And that is why they said they do take crafty counsel against us. Like for instance, the school system. These people don't want you to, you're supposed to teach our children about this Bible. Right? But they want to what? Send your children to school to make them a better slave. That's how you're becoming. Yes, I said it. You're becoming a better slave.
Like, if I can say, right? Like,
Yeah.
I post a picture, right? In Elon Musk, what he said is that they would never give an 18-year-old a $10,000 to open a business,
Yeah.
right? But it would give you $100,000 to go to school.
Yeah.
As a loan.
You understand? Because when you go to school, hey, the only thing you're going to be programmed to do is get a job, aka work for somebody, aka be a slave.
Yeah.
A very good slave.
They train you to be a buyer
Yeah.
and not a seller.
Right? From my add also, right? Another Edomite, right, by the name of Margaret Signature, right, which actually set up a lot of we call it abortion clinics in Jake. One of our quotes was, hey, take out to the whole Judite community, all right, and educate the smartest one out of them and make them feel that they're on the side with us and make him hate his brother, right? So that there's so many ways that they, not only by the food supply, not only by the educational system, but they're going directly to our border too. They want to cut off the elect the same way that it was doing it in ancient Egypt. You see?
Okay, if I could add, I have to make a statement just now. We got the saying that say, if you know where you're from, you can know where you're going to.
That's right.
Right? So, if you know your roots, you're going to know what to look forward to. That's why now people know what to look forward to. They look forward to this wicked ass kingdom.
That's why Yahweh I say, I have come but to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
That's right.
Because you're lost. That's right. Understand? And we consider a sheep because we need a shepherd.
That's right.
Right?
Right? Like, you know, our next way you could put it, there is no fruit without the roots.
That's
Right.
right.
I see you.
You gotta get lyrics. Men got lyrics for days. Yeah, go ahead. Right.
Psalms 83 in verse 4. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel be no more in remembrance. What's supposed to be there is Yasharahla. Right?
And if you really take a look at it, right, even though Esau oppressing pretty much the entire earth, all right, and these other nations as well, but they're still benefiting, all right, they're still eating at the table. You see? What?
Verse 5. For they have consulted together with one consent, they have confederates against thee. The tabernacle of Edom,
Yeah, Khan, which is the chief of them. All right, the chief of the wicked. You know, the ruler of this earth. All right, the God of this earth, brother. See, go ahead.
right? It says,
And the Most High stating it for us. Because it's really between Jacob, and I say Yasharahla is supposed to be there. It's between Yasharahla and the Edom, the Edomites.
right.
Right? You so-called white people.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Continuing on in Psalms 83:6, the tabernacle of Edom and the Ishmaelites. Hey, when you look at it, right, these two nations that were put first and second were actually challenging the blessing. You see? They were challenging the blessing. But the Lord was outrightly showing that He had chosen Yasharahla.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah, we said. It says Genesis chapter 17 and 19. And Yahweh said, Sarah thy wife shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac. And I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him. And as for Ishmael, I have heard thee. Behold, I have blessed him, and I will make him fruitful, and will multiply him exceedingly. 12 springs shall he begotten. See, and I will make him a great nation. But my covenant will I establish with Isaac. Right? So since all this time, the Ishmaelite was even fighting along with the Edomites for our birthright. Because even in the Quran, they push that they received the blessing. But yet in certain part, and one of the things, yeah, go ahead.
There's how dumb the dumb. In certain part, we would say that, you know, Israel received the blessing, Israel is the most chosen.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because when you read the Quran, it tells you how the Most High have made this covenant with Ishmael and Jacob. But you go up and check the history properly, you will never see that Ishmael is there. You understand? The Lord even exceeded his nation, gave him 12 princes. You understand? He's going to be great. But he wouldn't become great because if you go back, if you continue reading the Genesis, it tell you, it tell you that when Isaac blessed, when Abraham blessed Isaac, he laughed him. He gave, his blessing was what? No, it's Jacob, man. When Isaac blessed Jacob, he said, the nation thy brethren shall serve thee. You understand? I mean, hey, you will get a precept, man. That's what you did. Right? This is 27. You can bless your part.
Just quickly, the foolish thing with the Muslims, they start out, one blunt thing tell me that they don't have the time to read the Quran because they like do so much prayer and forget the other name that's used for the ceremony. They don't have much time for reading the Quran.
So they don't read the Quran.
Yeah, one of them literally telling me that because the guy was like, hey, the ones that don't read it, we call them kuffar. Right? We call them kuffar. And he was like, well, you gotta understand, man, because all the time you get a chance. But he did, basically, he was just getting to the benefit.
This is Genesis chapter 27 and 26. And after his father Isaac said unto him, come near now and kiss me, my son. Verse 27. And he came near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of his raiment, and he blessed him and said, see, the smell of my son is as the smell of the field which Yahweh blessed. Verse 28. Therefore the power give thee of the dew of heaven, and the fatness of the earth, and the plenty of corn and wine.
Hey, you see how we supposed to be? We ain't dead. Right? Yeah. But we're going down to the key point. Well,
verse 29. Let people serve thee.
Let who?
Let people serve thee.
Go ahead.
And nations bow down to thee.
Hey, and then Edom is a nation. And Edom's supposed to bow down to us. Right? If Ishmael is a nation, if Ishmael is a great nation, they're supposed to bow down to us, but they ain't bow down to us now. You understand?
If you look at it, right, the Israelites, right, the Arabians, you look at it, they got a lot of hell going on there. You see the sheiks them out there dressing with royalty. You look at the Edomites, they're on the top level too. You see? So they're getting the riches.
They had similar blessings.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
It said verse 28 of Genesis 27, therefore Yahweh give thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of Genesis 27 and 28. Therefore Yahweh give thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth and the plenty of corn and wine. Verse 29, let people serve thee and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee.
Wait. Say, be Lord over thy brethren. Ishmaelite came out from the seed of Abraham.
That's right.
So we supposed to be Lord over them. But the time ain't come yet. You understand? Hey, this is beautiful, bro. This is beautiful, you know. Many times we go into the curse, but we gotta start to meditate on the blessing too. You understand? Because thinking about it, it put you in a spirit of hey, you Lord over, you start to think like a king. You understand? But go ahead, No, why you do that? You have to finish it up.
Right? Let thy mother's son bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that cursed thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee.
And this is what I'm going into the lesson. You understand? This nation have cursed us. Right? They all come together to put a curse on us. Right? And they that bless us, we gonna bless them. Right? You go back to it. Go ahead.
They that select right? So it said they that bless us shall be blessed. Example of that is Rahab. All right, and there's a way you could, touch on the Rahab topic, because a lot of people like to bring up Rahab when you talk about salvation is only for Israel. She was shown mercy because what? She blessed the spies.
But technically she gets salvation. Everybody else was put to death. And what? She was saved. That's what salvation is. You understand? She was saved. She in her household. You understand? So she blessed the spies, the prophets. She received blessing. You curse with all these nations that curse us, they gonna get cursed, bro.
Hey, from an add, one another, you see when you go down, they show you even Moab. He on the top coming down on the list though. Hey, he tried to curse Israel.
Say something real quick, right? Because what I'm talking about, right, is use the Rahab story too. Basically said, well, other nations could come in and get Israel, salvation. But our salvation is a different salvation.
Different salvation.
Right?
That's right.
Because technically she was saved, but she become a part of the covenant.
That's right. Like for instance, the salvation that we're gonna receive is being in the chariots. That's right. Coming down back with great power. That ain't going to happen to these other nations.
That's right.
Don't matter how great these other nations is, right? Which they ain't gonna be great, but they're gonna live better than they living in peace society. You understand? They're gonna be good, but they're gonna always look up to we as Lord. That's the blessing.
That's right.
He said, "Be Lord over thy brethren."
That's right. Right? If I might add too, right? When after that 1,000 years, right? After when Esau will be destroyed after that 1,000 years, right? Hey, these nations, they're gonna have an opportunity to go back in their lands. That's mercy in itself already. You see, under the rulership of Israel.
There's an eagle where I have seen under the sun as an error which proceeded from the ruler. For he is set in great dignity, and the rich is in low place. I have seen servants upon horses, and princes walking as servants upon the earth. So here the prince, as I'm reading the history, it clearly shows that Israel was given the blessing of the birthright. The firstborn, because the law says that the firstborn is supposed to have inheritance too. Well, right? So like it says in Hebrews 2, we are here, with Yahushua. You understand? So everything that was created, when you read in the Colossians, it says that whether things be seen, unseen, things that are in heaven, things that are in the earth. Because we not just want this earth. We don't only want this earth. You see, so that's why we're waiting for something greater. The nations could have this they could have this land, the Americas, they could have it. But at the end of the day, Israel have the whole universe. Right? We still gonna be ruling over the earth. We still gonna be ruling over the rest of the universe. Things that are unseen realms, reaching into things that they can. You understand?
Dimension.
Exactly. So it's not just only like with Israel, where you see people fighting for a black man and president or some false bullshit. You understand? So they wait on Yahweh to bring the kingdom. Right? And we in that time, because these prophecy they one after the other.
Yahushua straightly tell us, you are from beneath, I am from above. So in other words, we think greater than these people that fighting for plot of land. You understand? Like I say, the black man that fighting for oath or for run this country. You understand? You watch it as a joke, because technically the president, no matter who you be, we look at you as nothing.
And the most like to see they for a living example. To show that there, this folly still in the union, because he oppresses people worse.
Yeah.
And hey, right now, people look at people living it up. And this oppression living it up. But hey,
and you know Jake said that.
Yeah, this is Psalms 83 and verse 6. It says, that's out of 5. For they have consulted together one consent. They are confederates against thee. The tabernacle of Edom, the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabar and Ammon, Amalek, and the Philistines were the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them. They have opened the children of Lot.
Alright, now the next way that they take their crafty counsel, alright, is through religion. Alright, when you really look at it, the thing that have the most influence over the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and natives is what? The law, alright, or referring to the law, the system, and religion. That's why when you look around in every single neighborhood, in every single hood, all right, there's a church or churches, several of them. You see, and then they set it up in such a way where they are dictated to teach and to preach certain things. All right, to preach the plantation Christianity, the Christianity of loving everybody. All right, the Christianity of everybody is just, nobody actually go back to a specific root. You see, because ain't nobody know that they're going back to Israel, or who going back to Elam, or who going back to this or that. It's just one melting pot of bullshit.
that's why the Old Testament is not necessary.
You see, God.
What the Old Testament basically does is it teach about lineage, alright, and for the mistakes that go back and the things that we're supposed to do. The scripture says, study the ways of thy father. You understand? So when you go in exile, you put out what you're giving the people. Basically good news and gospel, and the people know not the reason why they're in the
And when you look at it, they like Ark actually went into how the two nations that really come against Israel in terms of the blessing is the same two religion, all right, that really have the dominion over Jakes, which is what Christianity and Islam. All right, though you know Rastafarianism or what's the word? All right, they're still a small group in specific parts of the world. But when you talk global, Christianity and Islam, and they have a very strong hold upon our people, especially Christianity. You see?
This is 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and 3. It said, though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh, for the weapon of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yahawah to the pulling down of strongholds. Right? The strongholds go back to these religions as I'm getting into. You understand? This religion is strong all on our people. You understand? Like Apostle Gabar say, Apostle Tara say, the worst Muslim you could meet is one of them who trying to speak like a Ishmaelite. You understand? Don't go around them trying to tell them nothing. You understand? And you find a lot down in Guyana too.
That's right.
You understand? It's a casting down the imagination of every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of Yahweh and bringing into captivity the thoughts to the obedience of a master. Right? So, hey, this stronghold on our people, the Most High word is going to bring it down. You understand? And that's why we out here teaching. You understand? So basically, that is it, right? And we call it an imagination. Yes, and that means an imagination, right? It's fictitious. It's not real. You understand? So what you're doing, because the scripture say all gods is idol that the people serve. Right? Yahweh, Yahweh, he's a true power. Yeah.
Now, when you really look at it, you know, the only nation with that God gene is Israel. All right, that's why you find that we always looking for higher power. You see, and that's what these nations understand. All right, that's why they push that religion so heavy, and now they're trying to get rid of that God gene so that you could just be docile. All right, and in this state of what? We're willing to serve. All right, and accept that MOTV in the time to come. You see? You want to make a point?
God.